Okay, let's actually explain. So again, what we will be learning today? What exactly is the cloud? What are the benefit of the cloud? Why we need to learn the cloud? What cloud option we have, and what skills you need to be job ready? And there is two other point, which is not a slide. I will be explaining myself manually via sketch and all, which is what cloud path to choose and how to utilize existing skill set to get a better paying opportunity. That I will explain via some graphing and all. Look, that's why it's not in the slide, but maybe in the final draft of the draw I make, I will share you this document. Okay, so all good. Now let's get started. Okay, so the biggest query that what exactly is the cloud? And the funny part, once I was watching a TV show, once some elderly man saying like cloud is the real cloud and some their networking sometimes not work if there is rain happen and all. So that's that I know not all, but few might think that way who don't have a very in-depth knowledge of the cloud. So to break that myth and that what really cloud is. So cloud is like so here when you're talking about the cloud, we are meaning that it's cloud computing. What that means? That see normally you run your application in your local computer, okay, and that you run an all good. Maybe you run in your office computer and you show that the demo to the users or the clients. But think about a scale. If your app is growing, app is very good and is in demand, that demand cannot be handled via on-premise server or your local computer, isn't it? So to handle that case, someone came with the concept of running like utilizing all the resources, like who can afford it and then can rent it to other guys. Okay, here the cloud players are coming out. We are calling them cloud service providers. So they are coming in the scene and they're saying, look, you don't have to purchase your all this computer. You don't have to purchase the networking like networking high packages for the internet connections. I'm paying more than 20,000 to 30,000 rupees, right? So if suppose I'm hosting a server and I'm serving the customer, they are saying no, you don't have to do it. Okay, you just build your application or suppose use any service with our cloud service that I'm giving and serve your serve your customers via our resources. So you don't have to make a capital investment. So if you think that you need a like 32 CPU and say 32 GB RAM, that will cost a fortune. I think maybe 3-4 lakhs to be honest, and not less than that. So they are saying you can really, if you need it, you rent it on the cloud. You don't have to pay all that big amount. You pay as you go. So it's a pay as you go model. You use it. After you're done, you can stop it. And if you're getting good, like the customer using your application and they're paying for it, you are getting good money from that. Yeah, keep using it, keep increasing services because you have paying customers and you don't have to manage the capital investment. All you have to do pay as you go, and that also there is a competitive market. So whoever whichever cloud service provider the cheapest and the best resources, as a customer, we as a customer of the cloud services, we go to that particular cloud provider and purchase that cloud. In that cloud resources could be like say we have a WordPress portfolio application or maybe any kind of application, okay, one single application, and you are going to AWS. So in AWS you're creating either EC2 instance and then you're doing SSH into the machine, or you can do use their on in session manager kind of thing where via the browser itself you can go there and set up everything. Then you have your WordPress application. Simply install that WordPress application via the SSH or via the browser window, and then set everything up and make that application running. So in that way, in the local, if you're developing something, you don't have to serve from your local or from the on-premise system. You are doing by the cloud service provider. And so ultimately what I mean from all this define, what I'm saying is that cloud computing is nothing but on-demand delivery of IT services over the internet on a pay-as-you-go model. Instead of buying it, and instead of buying, you don't have to maintain like data centers or your on-premise servers, and you can access all that services from anywhere in the world, right? And what are these services? So there is like key services. First is the compute, like the instance I'm talking about. Those are the compute services, like 2 CPU, 3 CPU, 5 CPU. Doesn't matter if you need 1,000 CPUs, you can have it, of course, for a huge cost. So, but if you think about 1,000 CPUs and in your local computer, that doesn't make sense. In the local on-premise, that doesn't make sense because that is so costly that you cannot think about the cost even. Okay, but if you're talking about the cloud, you may start 1,000 instances if you just like request for the limit increase and all, and then for 1 hour you can run it and stop it. You can do it, but in the local computer you cannot possibly imagine that. Okay, so what cloud giving you the scalability at a huge scale. Okay, you can serve any number of customer or clients. Your application can support that if you run your application on many instances, right, on many cloud servers or many machines. That resources cloud gives you. So what is the final one? So instances I talked about. Then coming to the storage part, because your application, of course, it's some kind of files you need to store in a cloud instance and then run it. So some storage needed. Not just that, people are coming to your site and they are logging. Maybe they are signing up. They are giving some information. They are logging. So you need to use the stored information and allow them to log in. They may upload the files. They may delete the files. They may kind of do any kind of things. Okay, whatever we permit as an application developer or as a admin, what you assign them. But that data need to be stored in a secure way, right? Okay, that data security part you can handle by the cloud, and that data storing part also at infinite scale you can do by the cloud. So cloud give us the compute one, second is the data, and then comes to the one of the very unique element or very the basic element, the networking. Because think about that, if you have a file in computer, you have to upload it, right? Any like Git or anywhere, you need to store the data somewhere, or maybe in the other instance also. That you need a connection. Same way, suppose you are showing some demo in your computer and all that. For that also you need computer so that other people machine can communicate with your machine, and then you can share the screen, isn't it? Now think about the sites. So that application what you have, it's stored in a cloud server. Okay, that stored, not maybe say running, and that need internet connection so that other people all over the world or maybe a region you restrict can call your like can access your application either via the like domain or via the IP. Okay, I'll be maybe in the future session I'll be talking more about what is IP and domain. Even in my YouTube channel also one dedicated session on networking basic full course, you can watch that. So what they're doing here, that it's giving you all these resources: networking, compute, storage. Okay, and then you can run your application using these basic elements. And what are the big players in this cloud market? Amazon Web Services, AWS. We have Microsoft Azure, and we have Google Cloud. But these are the main players. What I mean by the main players? These are the top leaders, but there are other providers also, just like DigitalOcean, Rackspace. There is the LinkedIn provider, something is there. So there are a lot of other service providers there, but the number of services, the number of the huge scalability offered by these three providers is unmatchable by the other providers. Okay, that's why if you want to success in your cloud career, you must master any of that cloud service provider, either AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. I don't know, whatever you choose best, you can go for. But if you go for the marketing leads, AWS have the higher edge. That means the huge demand is for AWS. Azure also high demand, but less than AWS, and GCP has less demand than the Azure and the Microsoft Azure. Sorry, Azure and the AWS. So again, based on the project you want, like what cloud you're interested in, or what you like more, so explore all three and then check out which is your understanding better first, or maybe you were able to digest all the knowledge first. Go for that one, and then you can learn other clouds. Not a You're not in the hurry, but start with at least one big cloud provider, either AWS, Azure, or GCP. Okay, remember that part. Okay, so I think you got the clear in like layman language, in common term. Cloud is just someone else's computer. Here it's AWS or Azure, and we are just renting out the computers, and then we are utilizing the services. But always remember one single thing: nothing is free. Okay, you have to pay a cost. Maybe you're not paying immediately, but think this is a scheme. All cloud service provider, anyone that gives free, is either you are the product because it's free, or maybe if you're using services they're giving some free time or free trial. Then make sure you set the budget so that the cost doesn't get overboard. Otherwise, you will see at the end of the month huge bill because you didn't check the documentation or the pricing page before. So whatever you do while learning cloud and all, first learn about the costing. So all cloud service provider, AWS, Azure, GCP, whoever it is, they must have a price catalog page or the price calculator. Just go there and then first understand what service you're going to try. Just search by the services, you will see the option there. Then select which instance type or which database type or whatever type of data, I mean, service you're utilizing, and what is the cost of it. After you confirm the cost, then only try that and apply this knowledge, the cost knowledge, whenever, suppose, let's find now that we're learning, but when you join any firm, work in a professional level, you must make a quote of the services that you're going to use and save that code in that full code in some PDF document or in a Word document. Send to the head of the team or the cloud team. Confirm once if you're just getting started. Once they approve, then only go. If you are already experienced, like 2, 3, or 4 years experience in the particular cloud or DevOps, then it's fine. But otherwise, you must go like that way. Okay. Now, next part. So, what are the benefit of the cloud? So, I think most of the benefit I told you already, but now let's just for the sake of understanding the benefits in a greater depth, we'll be deep diving that. So, very first thing, cost saving. Of course, you don't have to purchase all that resources in your home or in your office. You are just renting them out. You are just utilizing for a short term or maybe long term, but at a cheaper cost because you are not purchasing them or you're not paying. You're not giving any maintenance charge for them. You are just paying for the cloud services that you're using. Okay. So cost saving. The services are free from the capital investment or capital expenditure because you are not purchasing the computers. Rather than purchasing sensitive system or equipment for your business, you can reduce the cost by using the resources of your cloud server, cloud computing service provider. You just have to pay as you operate it and enjoy the model based on a subscription plan. So, suppose you need one computer for now. You have a small application or maybe you're exploring something, is getting big, little big traffic, it's getting popular, so you add more 2 instance or 3 instance. Suppose the customer becoming paid customer, you make it the server to 4 servers if the income is good, else keep it 1 or 2 server. That way you don't have, so think about the scalability and the cost saving. You don't have to purchase a lot of things, just small start. When the business grows or things grows, then only you are going for the bigger resources. That's how you can save the cost a lot. Then 24 into 7 availability. Now think about the case, your local area, or suppose your office, if you're hosting application in your local office or in your computer, just for example, which you never do, but just for example, think about the case. If the electricity go out or maybe something happened, we have the thunderstorm here and our local, all the electricity was out for around 1 day, I think 24 hours or 1 day you can say. What happens if that happens to you? Your application down, your customer will go crazy. If they're paid customer, of course they will get crazy. Even the free customer will think, what man, your server, your application is not good, why should you use it? If you need 24 into 7 availability, you must have to move to the cloud. You have no option because in the cloud you can have multiple availability zone or multiple, you can say you have multiple servers, okay, or you have some kind of policy to make sure if one server goes down, it should create automatically a new server and it should run exactly the same way your earlier server was running. And if there is load increasing happening, it must create a consequence same copy of the same application running and serve the customer. That kind of stuff you can do by the cloud, what you cannot do normally in the on-premise or local computer. Okay, and you have, they are giving service level guarantee to make sure that your application never goes down. So understand about that part. Okay, that most of the cloud service providers are truly reliable in offering their services, with most of them maintaining an uptime of 99.9%. Understand that the workers can get onto the application needed basically from anywhere. Some of the application even function offline. Okay, so that means it's more secure, it's more fault tolerant than your local or on-premise servers. That's why you can see more and more businesses are coming to cloud and they're going away from the on-premise servers. Okay, Now, the scalability. Of course, I think I use the scalability word in the beginning also. So, this scalability part. Now you're running one server. When the load is increasing, the number of server increasing. Suppose and the load is decreasing, you are removing the number of instances. As a just a simple example, you have an e-commerce site, okay? Or just say you are at Amazon Prime Day. It's a very good example. I have purchased a lot of things. I have money, so I purchase a lot of things. Okay, for my wife, not for me much. Okay, but Amazon Prime Day give you deals. Okay, and that deals attract more customers. So what? Suppose they are running 100 servers normally. Okay, on day-to-day basis, and due to this Prime Day or Prime deal, a lot of customer came to the Amazon site. They they need some mechanism so that the additional load can be handled. In this place, coming to the scaling, we call it horizontal scaling. So what happening here, when the load comes, then whatever they have, or any any application have a same copy or same image of that application. So when there is high load coming, it create a new instance and the copy of the application running in the new server. Similar, it keep happening until unless it can handle all the load. Once the people start going and it's getting stopped, maybe it's going night, then when the load increasing, the CPU load and the traffic load also decreasing. Based on that parameter, you're removing the servers and of course along with the applications. That's why you're reducing the resources and saving the cost. So scalability gives you an option to achieve infinite, like any level of scalability. Scalability means both scale out and in. Out means increasing, in means like getting smaller because you don't need to run on a server. So you can achieve that via cloud easily. But think about on premise. Like if you running 5 machines, suddenly this kind of deal came, you're giving some deals and Black Friday or say Amazon Prime or any deal. You cannot go immediately in the market and purchase and set it up everything. That takes a lot of time, isn't it? And of course a lot of money also. But in the cloud, it's a piece of cake. So that's a good thing, isn't it? Okay, now let's talk about the all over function. Let's go to the automated updates on the software. So, automating software updates and installing software is kind of pain if you have hundreds computer locally. You can do, but it's a lot problematic and it's not that kind of fault tolerant. But in the cloud, you can go to massive scale. Suppose you have, like, just for example, it was have a service called simple system manager. Using simple system manager, you have 100,000 server, doesn't matter. If there is a security bug and there is a patch available, you will take only few seconds to run the some single command and that will update patches all the machines. But you cannot do in local. You have to configure, you have to connect the LAN and do all this kind of stuff. But if it's a cloud, you don't have to do anything. So in cloud computing, the server supplies regularly update your software, including the updates on security, so that you no need to agonize on wasting your crucial time on maintaining the system. You find extra time to focus on your important things like how to grow your business. So that's why you can focus more on growing your business. And if suppose normal cases, this cloud service provider automatically made this kind of patches and updates, but again you have the option to like run a single command and upload all that. So it's better in the cloud than your local machines. That's so. See, you are going for the cloud profession, and if you don't know, like, and if you the interviewer or maybe the customer asks you why you are moving to cloud, so you have to give them the reason you are moving them to cloud, right? So that's why very understand this very basic part so that you can answer all that kind of questions. So disaster recovery, the biggest disaster of a company can undergo is the loss of data. However, the cloud is the repository for backup the data, and it helps companies recover the lost data with ease and security. So most of the leaders, like who are the top cloud service provider or kind of all clouds, have their automated backup services. Okay, or maybe you can create even your own backup service. That's not a big problem. You can do it. So, and that is even a cheap cost. Normal cases in your local, suppose you have a hard drive and that get corrupted, you lost the data, even if you have a backup. But in the cloud, cloud service providers keep a multiple copy all over the world. Okay, if you are going for a good cloud like AWS or Azure, so that even if one place the data got corrupted, destroyed, something happened, say one region got destroyed, I know it's not going to happen, but just say your data is still safe no matter what. So this kind of disaster recovery can be given by the cloud service provider, not by the local computer. Now understand another part. There is a feature in most of the cloud gives is the point in time recovery. What it does, it keep track of all the data transition happening and the save the data of the recent data backup in the cloud. So it's continuous backup scheme. If you think about implementing this kind of advanced technology in local computer, it's you need so much data, so many hard disks, which is humanly not possible. Can be done by if you have a lot of resources already in a data center or a bunch of multiple data centers. So what is a data center? It's a building full of the compute instances or machines or computer, whatever you want to say. Some many hard disks, many firewalls, many networking. So data center can do it, but as a normal user, a normal small company cannot do it. So of course you have better chance doing the disaster recovery or data storage or backup via the cloud service providers. Security. So cloud computing offers great security when any sensitive data has been lost. As the data is stored in the system, it can be usually accessed even if something happened to your computer. You can even remotely wipe out the data from lost machines for avoiding it getting the wrong hands. So security part, see, normally in case of your computer, if you store some important data in computer and that get lost when you had a most important things are getting lost. So in the cloud service, they have dedicated service for identity and access management. All cloud providers, which make ensure who is the owner of the data must make sure who are should be able to access the data. Okay, and in that way you can make sure your applications data are secure, your access to your applications or the data is also secure, and if something bad happens you can always, it's in the cloud, right? They have multiple copy of the this kind of data. So there's a very less chance your settings get corrupted and you have a better security there, right? So these are the one of the main advantages. Other is that reduce carbon from footprint, sustainable. It's kind of environmental stuff. So what happens if suppose many companies have their own machines and they have the resources? So of course electricity, you have computer wastage because some computer get bad and wastage on. So that's a problem for the environment, which can be handled by the cloud service provider because they are the master of this, right? They know how to recycle, they know how to reduce the carbon wastage and all, make it more sustainable. So it's better option for them to do it instead of us if we manage. And of course, another feature is easily manageable. So cloud computing offers simplified and enhanced IT maintenance and management capacities agreements by the SLA and central resource administrators and manage infrastructure. You can enjoy the basic user interface and as a requirement use interface without any requirement for installation. Plus, you are assured, guaranteed, and timely management and maintenance and delivery of the IT services. So, what it's saying that you don't have to do all this complexity of managing with the command line and all. Simply, cloud service provider giving us a kind of UI. Suppose think about AWS, they are giving you a simple UI. They have listing the services. Simply go there and do whatever you want to do, and that's it. You don't have to manage everything by the command line. That was the reason this cloud service provider became so famous, because the simplicity that created for you as a consumer. Okay, now let's go to next. So yeah, why you need to? I mean, I told you the features, but again, you might as an engineer or as a like you are seeking this career, right? So why you need to learn cloud? First is the high demand. All industries say about IoT, say about the e-commerce, say about what the hell company you are thinking or industry you're thinking, that is moving towards the cloud. An example, health, like they are the if you are working in a health startup, they have more money than normal production house. So if you don't know, that's the reason this there, but maybe some other session I will tell. So anyway, all industries embracing cloud, moving from on-premise to public cloud to save the cost, which is creating demand for the cloud engineers, hence more opportunities. So since people are moving from normal on-premise system to cloud, of course they need good cloud engineers, architects, or cloud pre-sales engineers, or maybe system engineers to help them moving to the cloud. and that's creating opportunity for us as a computer engineer or as a cloud engineer. Future-proof career. Cloud computing is in demand from last many years. Like I am working in the cloud for last many years anyway. In future also going to be stay and grow further. So of course it has a larger scope. But see, cloud or DevOps, this thing will be there. There may be new services, there may be new system, there may be new features. You have to embrace all the updates. It is not said and never said that cloud will go down. No, cloud will stay there. Even if there is decentralization and all, still it will be their cloud. Okay, because not everyone this the decentralization is not ready for production users yet, and it's still a kind of theory plus some actual practice, but it's not production ready yet. What I think for next 10 to 20 years, still the cloud will be there. Maybe some services, maybe some competition will increase, maybe some new concept and new feature or new service provider will get created. But as a whole, cloud will be there. You just have to embrace new skills. That's it. Now, cloud computing. That's the truth. Cloud computing is in demand from last many years, and the future also is going to stay and even grow further, which simply create more opportunities for the cloud architect, engineers, and application developers. Now the third point, increase your professional profile. So if you learn basics of the cloud, then you transfer your skill to automation, set of automation, development, networking in the cloud. It will definitely increase your professional profile. So suppose you are a programmer or say you're a system admin, just maybe a local system. Now think about that if you have cloud skills. So you are a system tester or maybe system manager and all. Now that you have the cloud knowledge, you can do a lot of stuff than other people don't, and that make you more valuable than the others. The more unique skill set, the more on demand skill set you get, and of course cloud in demand, it create more opportunities for you, it improve your profile. Overall it's a good deal for you. Okay, personal growth and future scope. The purpose of learning code is not just about getting job in the company. If you become skilled enough, you can start your own company, or you can offer cloud consulting services just as a or just as a hobbyist to solve a traditional problem with the cloud skills. Not just that, the skills you gain through the cloud learning journey, you can use it as you see fit, up to your creativity. Just to give an example, I learned cloud, I learned DevOps, I learned programming. What that helped me altogether? I created my website. There I can just show off the people what I'm doing. Like I'm hosting my courses, I am hosting my sessions. People coming to site, creating traffic and generating revenue, which I'm investing. Which I'm investing here and there. Most of this is donation and all. 50% of the profit I get from the YouTube, I donate it to Prime Minister funds or Chief Minister funds. I do that. So but is getting me good kind of side amount and side profit, which I can utilize for some investment. Of course, like this equipments I have, I'm investing in there also. I'm investing for greater good, but that I'm able to achieve because I learned the skills, and I'm making money from it. I'm also working as a consultant for multiple companies because I have cloud knowledge. They're coming to me, they're saying, Sandeep, how to move the application to a particular cloud platform. Please tell me how to do it, and I do it for hourly basis, which I charge, of course, higher than normal engineers. And sometimes I do sessions for the cloud training where also I charge not that less, little bit. I mean, not that much, but less. But I'm making money. So I'm trying to say that personal it's opening a new side income for you. So if you have cloud skills, you can utilize as a different like working for a project, or as a consultant, or as a your own portfolio development like I did. So you can do a lot of stuff. It's up to your creativity. I'm just telling you few that I did, I know. But if you learn it well, if you master it well, it's up to your own creativity what you're gonna do with it. Suppose you want to start up for an IoT device, okay? Maybe you have any device and then you want to create a startup with maybe smart light. I got an offer from the to a smart dev, and they are lecturing like how to. And from their side, I learned that how to program the that thing. No? Just give you example if I have any. Yeah, just a moment. So how to program this kind of smart plug devices? Okay, these are the smart plugs. So how to program smart plug? How to program IoT, lot of other IoT devices. How to program that Raspberry Pi for them? This as a emulator for the advanced this kind of IoT devices. If I want in the future to create a startup just for selling this kind of stuff, like making my own. I can order from the tour, they can ship me the shipments from the Singapore, and I can sell them to the people. That I can do because because there's this application running in this kind of thing and connectivity with the mobile and all. You need a cloud, you need an API for that. If you don't have any knowledge, then how you will understand the flow, how you understand the cost of this device? Because if you don't know what because the cloud cost will be also included in your product. That understanding you will have only if you have the knowledge over that. That's the reason it's good to know cloud. So in your future business also it will be good. And the final point, of course, I talk about earning anyway. So high earning when when the demand of cloud professional is high than the current higher than the current available talents, you have potential to get high earning. Of course, there is not so many people have the cloud skills. There are many people, but not so many like like PhD programmers or like other small stuff, right? So where they have a lot of supply but less demand. Here you have high demand and less supply to the market. Hence, you can get more profit than like more earning. Okay. Okay. Before going to this, let me see if there's any important questions from you guys. So let's see. You guys have any questions? You can add in the ask question section. So adding Sudhi's query, PPT for this. Yeah, definitely I'll be sharing the PPT as well as the recorded version. So don't worry. Let's see. I see a lot of comments. Program. Okay. Looking for upskill. Well, support. Okay, I see a lot of thing about that your experience and all. If you have any questions, let's say I'm giving you 1 minute. Give me just if you have any queries in mind, you can simply go ahead and ask. Okay, I see a lot of people join, which is good. Simran saying that will the classes be weekly basis? Yes, the classes will be on the weekly basis. It's a 7 week program, so 7 classes. Let's see. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, this is the time. Ask now. After the okay, is Hashini saying that hi Sandeep, what kind of experience do you need in this career? So first you need to understand that why, like just like I'm explaining, why you need to use the cloud and what is the cloud. Which I told, this cloud is the combination of the compute, then the storage, and then the networking, and combining of these basic elements, you have email services, you have other the storage services. You can whatever you think of the services there, maybe the streaming services, which is again combination of the data hosting plus the compute, right? So these are the kind of first the elemental knowledge in the cloud, then the use cases with the cloud. You have to go to services section of any cloud and then see what are the services providing. Now question in your mind, why they're giving the services. Now they find out what are the people using these services, then find out which are the services giving have the high demand but late supply. Master the services. That if you add those kind of skill in your profile in LinkedIn or anywhere, there you get the more attractment, or you can see people are coming to you to ask for them project. This is the strategy. So Hashini is the done. Is Vikrant saying that does certification matter? Yes, certification do matter, because think about that. There are 100 people who have the cloud knowledge. They gone for the interview. Okay, out of the 100 people, 10 people have the good certification, maybe AWS or Azure certification. Okay, they will get the kind of preference over the rest of 90% because they have a certified skill, which means they have, like in general concept or in general means, or to any recruiter or any team lead or any technical recruiter, that this person have studied a subject, and that is our kind of needed subject to learn, because you that those certified people have already gone through training or some kind of session or some kind of tutorials. That's why they have passed the certification. If we hire new people and you have to train them and all that, they will be slow to start and you have to invest a lot of money. But these 10 people, we have to make a maybe small investment or no investment at all, and we can get good output from these people. So that is the mindset of a recruiter, or a mindset of a employer, or the client who are recruiting you. That's why if you have certification, you have the preference over the persons who don't have it. Okay, that's why it's needed. So it's next question is uh, Just a moment. Okay, a lot of things coming. So I'm saying difference between the cloud and the cloud storage. See, difference in the cloud is means the cloud are giving this all the cloud means the combination of all that combination of the compute, the networking, and the storage, whatever you can think of as a cloud service provider giving. And cloud storage is that the storage part, storage element, where you can store as a file or maybe the database storages. Those are the storage services. It's falling under the cloud. Like first is cloud, then in cloud they have providing the services. In this kind of services, you have the database service. Okay. Now let me explain you in a simpler way. I know otherwise you will see what that. So let's say this is the cloud. Okay, this is the cloud. Under the cloud it have compute, it has storage. Okay, it's a combination, right? So storage, it has networking. Okay, and a lot of the stuff like a lot of things. Out of that, a particular service is the storage service. Okay, storage service we have to pay for that. Okay, so cloud means the complete a lot of stuff, and particular service is a storage service where you can store the file or db. Okay, whatever stuff you want to store, that's how you do it. I think I should save it. Let's see if it's possible or not. Anyway, I'm just clearing it. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Different, can we have these classes during the weekends? Yeah, Sahil, I will definitely have in the weekends because of this last weekend and next weekend and this weekend. I'm going to have the class for the those people, the freshers. That's why I have kind of differentiated this. I make this on the work day. In the next session onward, it will be either Saturday or Sunday. So no worries on that. So it's Prasant saying that I am Prashant from Coimbatore. Now, currently pursuing MCA in if sorry if I'm spelling it wrong. Karpgram College of Engineering, Coimbatore. How to get job in the fresher in the cloud? The job to get job as a fresher in the cloud, you must understand the basic of the cloud. You must understand what are the services or a particular. You have to master one particular cloud service provider, either AWS, GCP, Azure. I don't care. Just whatever you're most comfortable. First, go there, learn it, explore the services. Then understand what is the job profile in the market. If you're looking at a job listing, what are the skills that persons are looking in that particular profile? Learn that, explore that, make a demo on that, make some kind of article, whatever you want to do. That you will see jobs coming for you. You don't have to look for jobs, but still you have to try. At the beginning, you may have to try it. So you can then reach out and speak to people or maybe that particular job provider. See, I have these skills. I have done this and this and the I have done already. That's how you achieve a job. Okay, not by doing nothing. You cannot do it. You have to do a lot of stuff. This kind of what I told. So it's Aslam saying, can we go for certification without graduation? Of course, no one telling you to graduate first with certification. I think I met a persons, not I like a lot of persons who are just studying in the college or in the schools. They have already started doing the certification because they found the cloud is interesting and we must learn it. That's how they go through certification. And even they started their small consultancy firm. That's a good story. Maybe, I will tell you, maybe some future time I will tell you. But let me tell you that there are people, there are students, there are college student, school student who are already jumping in the cloud and they will be more competition you in the later time. Not at the moment. I think there are some competition, but not huge at the moment. They are the future generation with a lot of experience because they are in the school or in the first year of college, they are getting the knowledge. They're not even graduated yet. So if you are in that phase, definitely go for cloud. It's your time. So you're saying that Mr. Soma Sandeep, do you have any webs? Do we have any website where we can practice AWS? See, you have Wiz Labs, you have Wiz Lab. I think Wiz Lab is the best one. They have this kind of lab section where you can log in into AWS and try it out. Their courses also very cheap. If you want, if you think it's too high, if you want me to request them for some kind of discount coupon and all, I have good contacts with the Lab people. They're kind of friend of mine now, so I can request them for that, and definitely they can make the cost a little bit cheaper for you guys. So again, you have to reach out to me, or maybe reach out to Krishna. I mean, he will be too busy because he's a CEO also, or founder. I think he's will be so busy. So reach out to me and say if you go to Lab, if you like some sessions and all, you or maybe the labs, and you don't have to, you don't have the kind of well to pay for all that courses, reach out to me. I will do something for you. Okay. Abhishek also saying, can you please arrange the class? I will definitely arrange on the weekends. So as I know everyone asking for it. I know it's a pain, but see, I also don't want to do it in the working days, but I have to do it, right? I don't want, I like doing nothing. It's not good, right? I have to do something rather than doing nothing. So Rahul, with which entry level jobs should a fresher with no experience should target to get in the cloud? Which entry level job? First, you can learn about running simple maintenance job. So what happens when a developer or architects, if like a big one or any company, they want. I also look for and I found some people. So where we look for this kind of people who can manage it. Good knowledge. They have basic knowledge how to do SSH into the instance, collect the logs, make like debug it, or maybe ask us to debug, but at least collect the logs part, do the monitoring, then write some shell scripting. These are the basic stuff. If you can master it, it will be very helpful for you to get in the first job. Okay, I think that's it. Now let's continue the sites. Okay, we'll be coming to the question in a while, so no worries on that. It's my doorbell. Okay, so now to the point is what, so types of the cloud or what cloud option we have, but this is the types of the cloud. So cloud computing is available in three types of usage. They are public, private, and hybrid. Cloud, hybrid clouds. Public cloud and private cloud are two terminologies commonly used in the market today. Let's see what do they mean and the difference between the public cloud and the private cloud. So first is the public cloud. Public cloud is so this is a publicly accessible framework where you can store data or use it as a virtual machine. This can be either programmatically or autonomously. Here, individual does not have to invest the time and effort in buying physical servers, but can get started in no time. Public clouds are available. Use like it's a used like pay as a you basis. Okay, I don't want to be more definition wise, but I have to say it anyway. Now, let me explain in my language what is public cloud. Any cloud that is publicly accessible and are willing to share their resources with you and want to rent the services to you as a normal consumer, you can purchase services. Okay, I think someone came in the door and asking. So give me 1 minute, guys. Okay, give me 1 minute. Sorry for that. Just a moment. Okay, guys. Sorry, I'm back. One relative came. Anyway, so yeah, what is public cloud? Public cloud is the like it's a public and open to all, and they want or like they are open other to register, come and register, verify your credit card or debit card or some bank account. They need some kind of verification of the personal identity. Then onwards, you can create any kind of resource, compute, networking, storage. Doesn't mean whatever the service provider they are giving. As a consumer, you can go ahead and rent it or purchase it. Like whatever you want to do, you can do with it. Okay. They are called the public cloud. It's publicly accessible to anyone. Okay, that's why it's called public cloud. And of course, as I stay in the definition, which I never go with, so simply means that you can create your like suppose you have a AWS S3. Okay, you have a lot of files in local computer. You want to store that data in S3, so you can free up your normal machine. Okay, you can go ahead and any public cloud and store in the S3. If you need it frequently, you should set the storage class as the frequent one, like normal standard one. If you're going to access it after a few months or years, then you should make it a glacier one. So this kind of knowledge, what to do and when to do, this you will need. Okay, while since I'm talking as a professional perspective, that's the use case you have to handle first. First relate with yourself what you're going to do with the cloud, then think about the other people how they're going to do it. Now think about the business how can utilize service. This is the viewpoint. Okay, there you should go. And the public cloud is a cloud which most people getting used. I can say 90% is the public cloud. Okay, in the entire cloud industry. Then come to the private cloud. Private cloud is the cloud if no one so okay, if one needs to have a cloud exclusively for the organization, then a private cloud is the best option. Along with the flexibility provided, it can we can opt for a data center on the premises. For security and compliance need, a dedicated professional is required to manage the private cloud framework. That's the definition part. Now let's me make it simplified on you. So you are an enterprise company, you are working for a big company. Okay, they have huge amount. Okay, they want, or maybe they have some kind of regulatory, just like PUBG case happened. PUBG have to make sure they store the data in India. Okay, and they have to make sure the data security. Okay, that's the example. In that cases, you have to utilize a private cloud, so that you are making sure we have to go through the regulatory need. I'm not sharing the data with any other anyway. This is virtually and physically not possible to share the data. It cannot go out of anywhere. That kind of exclusive requirement, if you have to go for the private cloud, where you can just hire out an entire data center, or maybe you can talk with the cloud service provider and say we need these resources and we want it to be dedicated to us. Okay, that means you are privatizing the entire infra for you, and you can pay full amount or you can pay rent, doesn't matter. But the public cloud, what happens, since they have all the access to everywhere, they manage the resources for you. They do a lot of stuff. Like you're a customer out of their a huge the customer list, isn't it? So their responsibility as a public cloud to manage the patching, manage the system, make sure all service work fine. It is their kind of responsibility. But if it's a private cloud, it's since as a big company and all, they're a separate entity now. They don't have the access to your private cloud. Now it's your responsibility to hire a dedicated engineer or a professional who should do the, like, it's not all the time, it's a kind of multiple person you will need. So what it means that you need dedicated person to manage the cloud, and it's completely separate from the public cloud, not shareable. It's dedicated to you. Now, why people, like, you understand the people like regulatory requirement, or if you want to have dedicated resource for your application, you can go for the public cloud. But why people need it? That's I also explained right now. Why not the public cloud and why not the private cloud? That also explained by the definition, isn't it? What is the main difference here? Is the cost. Public cloud, since it's shared by a lot of people utilize services on a sharing basis, and the entire infra cost and all the management cost, everything is getting distributed between in this kind of users or clients. So a client paying less because all the cost getting is a kind of economy of scale. The people more using it, the cost is less. Okay, and the people less using the private cloud, the cost is high. The cost of management is high. Cost of appointing a professional dedicated to this private cloud is high. So the cost of the private cloud is a lot high than the public cloud. Remember that part. Suppose someone asking you, I want all this to be for me. I want it to be dedicated. I want to be public cloud. You have to confidently say to the person, okay, go ahead. But remember, if you go to the private cloud, it's gonna cost a bill, a cost of fortune that you might can pay off. So first, understand what is the cost of running with the private cloud against the cost of running private cloud. If your application is neat, like PUBG, they have a lot of money, like crores of money. They can simply go and buy a private cloud, all the resources for them, and they can manage it. But as a small firm, small application, small startup, it is not possible for them to have a private cloud. Instead, it's better for them to save the cost by going to public cloud, and they can utilize the money to hire more engineers and can do a lot of more great stuff faster. Then come to the hybrid cloud. So I talk about public cloud, open to anyone, for the private cloud, dedicated to certain persons. Hybrid cloud is a combination of public and private clouds. for certain business needs who can benefit from the combination, the ones who use the hybrid cloud. Suppose for some application it's okay to be public, it's okay, it can happen to public, the data can be stored in any kind of region, that doesn't matter, no one cares, it's not a sensitive data. No, it's not, suppose the health related data or the kind of PUBG people were using, that kind of data, that data should not leave the country. That data not even leave a region, maybe in a particular region or maybe in a country. That we need dedicated resources for them, dedicated storing places them. Okay, keep that part application to the private cloud, but the public application, the public servers, which is not storing sensitive data or cannot be bounded, or may not be bounded by the regulations and all, can be public. Use that application as a public cloud. So first, it's saving the cost. Second is maintaining the regulatory access. So both of the like based on the both of the world is going to happen in the hybrid cloud. So if someone asks you in interview, why not we go for hybrid cloud? Why not you go for the private cloud? Why not go for the public? Or why should I going for the public cloud? You should be able to confidently say this is the reason. Okay, so you must understand that part. Now, what cloud option we have? Now let's talk about the more juicy part here. So types of cloud computing. There are three main types of the cloud computing, including infrastructure service, platform as a service, software as a service. Each type of cloud computing provides different level of control. So it's kind of different level of control, flexibility, and management. Also the accessibility. Also, okay. Now discuss about all the three main important stuff. So very first, infrastructure as a service. Okay, in this you have the most control. So IaaS contain the basic building blocks of the cloud. It typically provides access to networking feature, provides the access to the computer or virtual instances or virtual machines. It gives the access to the storage space, direct access storage. Okay, you can go and do kind of lot of stuff with the direct storage. Suppose it's like, suppose you have a machine, you are installing MongoDB or MySQL or any server DB, then you want to update, you want to patch it, you want to export it, import it, whatever the hell you want, you can do it there. That is infrastructure as a service, where you have the access to the core level. Okay, and it is more similar to existing IT resources with so many IT departments and developers are familiar. Like a normal company where you're hosting your kind of instances, kind of storage, you have networking driver, NAS drives, and all that. So that's a kind of that is infrastructure as a service. But see, this is the infrastructure. As a service, what is coming when the cloud service provider managing that infra for you and giving you access to this core level services, then we are calling it as a infra as a service. Example, if you are familiar with AWS, it's AWS EC2. If you are familiar with Azure, it's Azure compute instances. If you are in the Google, similarly they have the compute instances. So these are the things called infrastructure service, where you have the access to core components, that is networking, storage, and the virtual machines. Okay. Now come to the part called platform as a service. Okay. So let's talk about platform as a service. Platform as a service or PaaS removes the need for you to manage the underlying infrastructure, usually hardware and the operating system, and allow you to focus to development and deployment of your application. This helps you to be more efficient, as you don't have to worry about kind of resource procurement, capacity planning, software maintenance, patching, or any other of your other undifferentiated heavy lifting involved in running application, which simply mean you say you need a this machine like 4 CPU and 8 GB CPU, 8 GB RAM, but you don't have to think about what underlying software running, what when the patching need to do, nothing. You don't have to like remember anything. You assign the resource, you use the resource, but you don't have to worry about the underlying resources anymore. Okay, but in the infrastructure as a service, you have to manage your virtual machines, or you have to maintain some database backups, you have to make sure you are patching up the machines properly, you have to make sure there is security part is fine. In platform as a service, no, you don't have to do anything at all. You just have to mention and assign the resources, how much you need it, and you manage the resources. Underlying hardware part and the infrastructure part will be managed by the service providers. That's what you're calling here is the platform as a service. Very good example of this is the ECS. If you are familiar with AWS EKS or ECS, there you just mentioning that I need these two main kind of two instance cluster. Then like it will be using the Amazon Linux machine, and then you bring your own image in the ECS. Then using the image, you can run your application. So you are just giving the code of the package that you need to run, but the underlying hardware, underlying system, and all managed by the cloud service provider. That is what the PaaS. Now I think the software service is the most common thing we have heard now. Okay, the moment I give the example, I think you will be clear. So SaaS or software service provides you the complete product. Okay, some of you might have a SaaS. What is SaaS? It gives you complete end-to-end service and kind of product that run and managed by the service provider. Okay, the entire thing is managing by the service provider. That means you are not even mentioning that how much CPU, how much RAM, or how much storage you need. Nothing. It's entire service coming to you as a full package. So you pay this amount. This is the storage service you will get. This is the kind of compute power will get, or this is kind of that. You are maintaining, coming under packages system. There the solution, the service provider is managing entire thing. Okay, in most cases people are referring SaaS as referred to end user application. Okay, now I think so what is SaaS? Okay, think about the Uber service, or think about the Gmail, or think about any service. There is an end service where you're utilizing the services. Okay, and maybe pay as you go. I mean, you have to pay for it, and then you utilize services, and you don't know about the underlying hardware, you don't know about what service software is using, you don't know what what kind of infrastructure or what system architecture they're following. Nothing, you know nothing. You are the end user, you are utilizing services. That is the SaaS, software service. Now you can, software service means what? You can pay for the service and you can utilize the service however the way you need, and whatever the service provider offering to you as a service. Okay, so with SaaS offering, you don't have to think about how the service is maintained or how the underlying infrastructure is managed. You only need to think about how you will use that particular software. That's it. So it's the final output that you can utilize the way you want to use it. Okay, so that's one of the it, and I think you understand. Now, a very good example of SaaS is I have told you already, and simplest example is the Gmail, where you don't worry about anything. You just send the email, this is the email, you store your file and all. If you want more storage, you have to purchase the Google One plan, and that's how you do it, right? So one very good example of SaaS is the Gmail one. Okay, now next slide. So cloud computing deployment models. Okay, so let's say you are kind of application management or application operation engineer, or application whatever it is, you are managing the application. You are in the head of the deploying, like they will ask you where to deploy the application. Now what will be your answer? Like they say I am running a notice application, and I want to host it. In local is no more supporting. We are facing the problems. In premise, people are huge load is coming, and we cannot handle the load. Now you have to give them the answer or suggest them what is the solution, what they should do. Then you must, like the very first thing is that what modules you want to what module you want to go for, like what model you want to go for the deployment. Okay, so there are three models: cloud, on-premise, hybrid. Okay, on-premise is exactly the same as you are running in the local, or maybe you have an office full of the machines and all, storage and networking, where you storing, you're hosting the application. Cloud is the cloud service, like any cloud service provider giving you the services like the remote instances or remote cloud storage and all that. If you utilize, that's a cloud. And hybrid is the mix of the both world, mix of the on-premise and mix of the cloud. So some application which are like consumer facing, that has to be a cloud application. The application that are just for the employees or the manager or maybe your local people, that part you can host as on premise. Okay, now let's make a bit more deep dive into it. So a cloud-based application is fully deployed in the cloud, and all parts of the application run in the cloud. Application in the cloud have either been created in the cloud or have been migrated from on-premise to the cloud and existing infrastructure to take advantage of the benefits of the cloud computing. Cloud-based application can build on low-level infrastructure pieces or can have a higher level services that provide abstraction from the management, architecting, and scaling the requirement of the core infrastructure. So in simple sense, you have a like a simple example is you have a Node.js application or any application, maybe PHP, maybe WordPress. The problem is that the load is happening so high, your application no more able to handle the load. In that case, you have to think about moving the application from on-premise to the cloud, where you can set the auto scaling rules. Setting on scaling rule, if you set a auto scaling rule, if the load increase, the CPU power, CPU usage increase. Suppose it reaches 70%, 60%, or 80%. You can set CloudWatch or any kind of monitoring rule. So suppose it reaching 60%, you can set a rule to create one more instance. If the on average load increasing, create one more instance. Okay. If suppose the load on average is less than 20%, 30%, you are removing an instance. That's how you manage the scaling in the cloud. That you can achieve only in the cloud, of course. In the on-premise, you don't have that kind of options. So yeah, on-premise, like the talk of the devil, on-premise deploying resources on premises using virtualization and resource management tools is sometimes called private cloud. On-premises deployment does not provide many of the benefits of the cloud. One of the thing is like huge scalability part, and but sometimes sought for its ability to provide dedicated resources. Of course, it if it's on premise, that means dedicated to the like you can dedicate it to whatever the cause is. The most cases that this deployment model is the same legacy IT infrastructure, while using application management and the virtualization technologies to try and increase the resource utilization. So what are the virtualization here? You can use the Oracle virtual machines, you can use the VMware. So using this kind of software, you are just making sure you are using your available resources in its fullest capacity. That's what you do, but still in on-premise, and it have the limitation in scalability. Now coming to rescue, suppose you have a regulatory requirement, some application must be run inside the office, just like in internal applications. It cannot be public. In that cases, you need the hybrid cloud where the application that need to be run in the local, like in your local office and all, it will be in the local office. The application that should be user facing or consumer facing will be in the cloud. That's how we do it. Okay. Okay. Now come to the cloud service provider. I think I in the beginning itself I told you that you have Azure, you have AWS, you have Google Cloud. These are the three main cloud provider. And if you want to move to cloud as a you want to move your cloud to carrier, you must learn about or you master any one of these three options. Be it AWS, Azure, Google, I don't know. Whatever you find good, go. If you ask me, Sandeep, give your personal opinion, I also go with AWS because AWS is the market leader. AWS have a lot of more opportunities than the Azure and the Google Cloud. If you tell me, Sandeep, I don't want to go for AWS, it have a lot of people already, then I will say go for Azure. Now if you say Azure also have like immediate after AWS, Azure also have good demand, people looking for the Azure managers and engineers. So that is there. Okay. And if you say AWS, Azure both have huge kind of engineers, I may not get a chance. I want something more less resource. They have a less unique kind of less you can say demand is less. Also the resource is less. Maybe I can get more opportunities in the that cloud. So go for Google Cloud. But one thing I want to make clear: go for any three other cloud. If you learn and expertise, you will not get good opportunity in the market. Okay, maybe you can see listing here and there, but this just for the listing. People actually don't give value that much to those kind of people or with having those kind of resource, those kind of cloud knowledge. You will get good opportunity, you will get a stable career option if you master any cloud, preferably AWS or Azure, and master all not all the services, but the core services first. Then you seek the specialization. See, I am now I'll be coming to that, but maybe in just within few seconds, which cloud option, which career option to choose that part. But you can choose that way. They have a lot of services, and let's go to the final the slide for the final slide. The now the what are the skills needed to be the cloud job ready? Like more interesting part, isn't it? Like this is the part I think most of the people wait for. So what you need to success in the cloud, of course, you need the basic cloud knowledge. Without basic cloud knowledge, you cannot do anything. I have one very good friend, a very close friend called Chirag Nair. So Chirag also told me at the very beginning, around 3 4 years back, say Sandeep, the people who don't master the basic, the cloud, the computing part, the networking part, the kind of storage part and all that, they will struggle for life. They will be never able to, they may get certification or may not even able to get certification, but they cannot make use of anything because they are missing the basics. And his word is true till the moment I'm speaking. Okay, that's why I also knew it from the beginning. That's why I mastered the basics first. So I will be definitely asking you to do the same. First, master the basics, learn, understand, explore what are the all the clouds. Learn actually explore all the top leaders, AWS, Azure. See what are the compute type they're offering, why that compute type is using, what is the cost of the particular compute types. Maybe at the beginning you keep a note of that. In the future you may not need, but just for learning purpose and your expertise, you keep a note of that. Then suppose someone coming to you as a client and they are asking, we have an application, you want to move to a cloud. You can simply look at the type of the application. You understand this is falling in this requirement, and for this requirement we have these instances, and just tell them to that, and you have the option, like you already demonstrated you have the knowledge, they will ask you to create it. Okay, so have the that knowledge also, creating the resource and deleting it, because you don't want to keep your bill running. So that is what reason. Okay. Now come to the part of the virtualization and containerization. I think it's kind of well known to everyone. I will not I will not spoon feed. Okay, there are already many videos, many courses available YouTube and everywhere about the virtualization, containerization, and all. I will just say you must learn virtualization, even if it's not a requirement of the job. Just learn it. Just learn it. Even you're attending this class, that means you are interested in the cloud. And in the cloud, there are many lot of application running, lot of service running. Understand, one of the service, I mean any service, okay, any service must be utilizing containerization at this moment. Believe me, they are doing it. If they're not telling you, they are utilizing the containerization services. Okay, that is the kind of building level block for their services, or any service, any cloud service provider, any application. Now containerization is a must. So learn about the basic configuration. Learn about how can, suppose you have a simple Hello World app. Suppose you have a WordPress app. Suppose you have a Node.js app. Suppose any app. Maybe a command line app that just printing Hello World to the anything in the system output. That application, make generation of that. From that onwards, make complicated use cases like running a kind of batch operation, running a kind of image generation, running kind of could be anything, to be honest. You have your imagination is your limit. So that is the thing I want to, because learn the combination. That's why maybe because of that only I focused so much on combination. I got the AWS hero. So you can become that also. You become the combination hero for any cloud. So that's why I learned the coordination part, because if you want to run application in the cloud, eventually you'll see, to fully utilize a instance or a machine's capabilities, you must learn about coordination, so that you can run multiple copy of the same application in a multiple container inside a same machine. It will use, suppose that machine have a Ford CPU, so that you can run 4 application. Each application is a small unit, so it can handle small load. But when you have a lot of containers, it can handle huge load. It's a collective kind of effort what the application will putting. If you put in container and multiple running multiple container single machine, and you have 10 machines, suppose 4 into 10 40 container, it can handle a lot of load than a machine which is handling the load. That's why to use the full utilization, you must use the coordination. Now Linux and self scripting. See, in the cloud, I think everyone, if you go to Google and whatever you want to search, they will say 90% or more is actually on Linux. So definitely you must Linux. And if you are utilizing kind of the Windows, the first thing you should do, okay, keep a Windows, it's not a problem. Good for gaming. Sometime may be good for programming. But if you want to achieve excellence in your life in the cloud or in the DevOps, stop using the Windows. I have one Windows machine just for processing the video and editing video. I have never used for my programming. I have never used for anything else. Just gaming. Sometimes I get bored. I'm gaming, programming, maybe Live streaming also, sometime if my Mac is busy or my other laptop busy, I use that, otherwise not. Do use the Linux, okay, and keep yourself familiar with the Linux. Learn about shell scripting, because as a DevOps engineer, a cloud engineer, also sometimes or many times you have to run some automated scripts, and this kind of automated scripts are actually based on the Linux, or kind of like kind of bunch up combination of Linux commands. So if you don't know Linux, you will feel a kind of less confident, which I never want anyone to be. To feel more confident, just run with simple command, na cat, kind of delete, make directory, remove it. I have a very good session on YouTube itself where I've covered the basics. Don't go for my channel. There is a lot of more channels available which have covered in, like free code camp. They have dedicated session for the command line and all. So go for that. I mean, it give you so much knowledge you cannot imagine. Okay, so do Linux shell scripting. That's kind of a basic building block of the cloud. So you must learn it. Programming. Now programming is optional, I will say. See, if you learn programming, that's more than good. I mean, at least one programming language, I will say, either JavaScript or Python. But it's completely kind of optional, I will say. Learn about programming knowledge if you want to get a top level position. Say application, cloud application programmer, like cloud team lead, this kind of thing. I'll be coming while discussing in the via the diagram. I will explain, so don't worry. Automation, see, automation coming, automation you need Linux or shell scripting. But anyway, automation is the most important benefit of the cloud services. If application can be programmed to make their own correct decision without human intervention, it can increase the efficiency. Of course, cloud professionals have a role to play in facilitating this kind of automation. Specifically, they need to be well versed in mechanics of business cloud architecture and the different components that interact with or depend on the others. So see, suppose automatic sending a mail, I schedule it in my morning time. Last night also one mishap happens, so by mistake, instead of this time I said 5 a.m. It was by mistake. Then, since I have automation in place, there's a bug actually. It when I after the time, the automation, it didn't change. It was configured to send the email in the 5 a.m. 1 hour 5 a.m. before, like 4 a.m. That was the email was sent. Okay, that means while even you are sleeping, you can send the message to people. People think you sent it, but that's not the case. One, the invitation, the official invitation mail. Okay, not the webinar mail. I have sent officially, but in the, like, for this time session, one, like 15 minutes back of starting the session, you will get an email automatically, say the session going to start in 15 minutes. That I have manually configured as automation, so that makes sure that this time when happens, this email will get shoot to you people, and you can start joining. And when the session getting started, then only automatically one mail should be sent to you guys. Okay, so this kind of automation, I'm just giving an example. This kind of automation is possible just because I'm using cloud. I'm hosting my application in AWS Lightshell. You can host it anywhere, and there I have set up the database services. They have set up the email services. Like, these are happening because I've set up properly email services. Otherwise, it will never reach you to your email. It will go to spam, or it will never reach out to you. So I had set up all the services. Then I have set up the automation, and it's giving me good results. You people coming to me, you got the email, you came here, and you asking question, you're clicking benefits. So automation have its benefits, isn't it? So that's the reason you must also learn the automation, because in real life, the customer, the people, the company persons, everyone will give you responsibility to set the automations. And if you don't have the skills required for the automation, you might see that as the kind of backwards kind of thing, or maybe you feel a little bit ashamed, because even simple email automation, you should know how to do it. Simply create, like, you should learn about the cron job, you should learn about the kind of interval polling kind of thing. So these are the basic concept you must learn to make the automation. Even in automation, there are a lot of software. If you learn Python, you can set up the, like, advanced level automation by the Python. That's why everything comes like a harmony kind of thing. So one skill facilitates the other skill. If you learn the Linux skill scripting, it will help you in the automation. If you learn the automation, you can sell automating emails, automated jobs. It can make your life a lot easier. If you learn programming, you can make even advanced level of automation. So this kind of stuff are one related to another. Okay. Then we have the databases. The knowledge on popular databases such as MongoDB and MySQL are expected, because suppose as a cloud engineer or the cloud architect or cloud application developer, they ask you to please use the MySQL or MongoDB. But if you have zero knowledge about that, how can you install it? How can you utilize it? So you need basic knowledge. I would say even better if you have some working knowledge. So get yourself familiar with MySQL and at least the MongoDB. These two are the main one. Okay. And finally the cloud service provider platforms, because ultimately you have to provision the resources, you have to purchase the, like SPA as you go model, like ultimately you are creating the resources, machines, maybe databases, maybe the storage, you are creating the spaces, right? For that, that you have to learn how to create, how to destroy, how to operate, and what cloud provider platform is there. Again, let's take a look previous slide. AWS, Azure, GCP are the leader. You must master any of these three. Again, my personal opinion, always AWS, because you will have more opportunities in the market. Okay, now last point. I think actually two have 2 point left. There is a metrics analytics. So if you run your workload in the cloud, you need some way to track, like these machines running this way, or kind of these machines are kind of not running properly, this error happening, so error log tracking, or this machines got a huge workload like 1,000 requests per minute or second, so you have to understand from which IP got the request, then make sure that IP is not a blacklist IP, or maybe you want to blacklist, make sure that no blacklist IP should be able to access your application. So for that you need monitoring and analytics, right? That kind of all the service provider, and there are custom tooling also open source software giving you that kind of tools. Now you have to learn this tool and utilize that. So expertise in metrics analytics and understanding in the kind of understanding understanding which metrics should be applied to specific cloud services will stand you in good state. That's because the skills enable you to demonstrate the ROI of the business cloud technology. Okay, that's why very important to understand the metrics and analytics. Now, the final point, cost management. See, in the beginning, while talking about the feature itself, I told you that one of the biggest feature is the cost management, because there is no capital cost and it's a pay-as-you-go model. But what happens that when you begin, or as a fresher, or maybe who don't know much about the cloud and the pricing, they create a lot of resources, which they never track of. They keep a track of it. So what is the problem then? If you don't stop or destroy the services that you have created, you are still keep paying for them. At the end of the month, when you see $1,000, $2,000 bill, what happens? That is the problematic, isn't it? Okay, and you may not pay as a you may not pay that, isn't it? So one problem happened. See, even there are one very good friend, like student, or you can say family of mine, running a service, and or at the end of the month they get huge 1 million bill, because there's a mistake that their application have a kind of loop, and that loop calling one service continuously, and that created huge bill. Now that doesn't happen over time on a single day. If it happens single day, they will of course will say nothing, they will reduce the bill and they will just cancel the billing. But if they see it's kind of cumulative and you still didn't notice, they will ask the, as a cloud service provider, they will say you must have set the budget, you must have checked your cloud service daily, it's your responsibility, not mine. So if you could have set the budget, if you could have checked and analyzed the data, the cost data, and like using the cost explorer, similar kind of services, you could have reduced the cost a greater depth. The money you save is the actually the money you have earned. This is the basic concept there. So that's why you must have some cost management skills. Understand how to use the cost or the billing related tools that each cloud service providing, or if there is any open source tool or some tools that is coming as very good cost management application coming at very cheap, you may just try that and apply that. Okay, that's why the ability to determine and monitor the cost and the workload estimation are a valued skill. This is a very big skill. People think cloud engineer or cloud application developer there means creating a lot of servers, application, and all. No, The very first thing, the most important job is to make sure the bill is low, and the see you need, suppose there is a huge workload and you have good revenue stream, then you have to give, like suppose that particular application need 20 CPUs and say 30 GB or 32 GB RAM, you have to give it. If you the point is there that if there is good revenue stream and your application really need it, give it. But if you're a small business just getting started, you don't have a lot of huge workload. What is the point of having 10,000, 20,000? What is the point of having this kind of 100 or 20 or 30 whatever CPU usage or huge RAM? No, right? So you have to map the business needs with the application. Keep in mind you have to maintain the cost. That's one of the most important skill a cloud engineer, developer, architect have it. Okay, understand that part very carefully. Okay, now I think that's it. Now I think I told you guys that I will tell you about the career path. But let's first see that if any questions came, then I will be answering them first. So let's see any questions. Oh, it's Roshan saying that, sir, how is your health? Now it's good. Thank you, Roshan. So what happened that last week I was supposed to have one session on GCP, but my health got be deteriorated, so I didn't have the session. But now I'm good. So you can see my voice, you can see how lively I am. So I'm doing great. Uh, then say Aslam, the example demos you have shared from your experience is amazing. I love that you simplify the concept beyond bookish language. Thank you, Aslam. So, which type of Linux topics are imported from the basics? So, since I have opened the sketchbook, why not? So, first, just a moment. So, for actually no, wait. So, say you have Linux. First thing you need to understand is the commands. Commands. Okay, what are the commands? Very basic commands. Now, let me show you what is the basic command I'm talking about. So this is the Linux terminal. If you can see it properly, I hope you guys can see it. This is a Linux terminal. Okay, and in Linux terminal, if you see, you have a lot of commands. Okay, you have a lot of commands. I'm talking about starting the basic, like mkdir, say Sandeep demo. I'm getting a folder called demo, like Sandeep demo. Then going inside the folder. So Sandeep underscore demo. Okay, inside the folder, then creating a simple file using maybe nano abc.txt. Okay, enter some values and save it. So these are the basic command I'm talking about. Say you have kind of files, so you should know rm minus kind of rf abc removing the file. So these are the basic command talking about. Basic file manipulation command, basic networking commands like say if now that is the strangest command, but yeah, okay. Just I'm showing you guys because of the session. Okay, this is the kind of thing you should not show to everyone, but you have the networking commands here, if config. So these are the things you should learn. The basic commands I'm talking about. Learn the basic commands. Okay, so learn the basic commands, then learn about shell scripting. Okay, what is shell scripting? Is the list of this kind of commands. So basic command, using the basic commands you can form this kind of shell scripting. So let's say cd, then some folder path, then say removing some file, like just kind of say. So any kind of commands you can mention here. Okay, and that you can do, okay, in the shell scripting. So I have one, like multiple videos in my YouTube channel on shell scripting. You can go and watch that. So learn the basic commands. Still getting used to it. So learn the basic commands, then learn about the shell scripting. This will make your life lot better. Okay, this will make a life easier and make you real professional in the cloud cabinet. So if you are a system engineer who have the knowledge about this kind of assignment, you're already in the good place. Okay, remember that. Now I have talked about that. Now let's come to the main point. So the main point here is that which cloud career path you should choose. I think that's everyone waiting for. So I think let me go over what are the okay. Though so most of the cases I see you have kind of system manager kind of so yeah, just again comment down. If you already commented down, it's good. If you are didn't comment down, what is your profession? Do it now because I will be analyzing and giving answer on that. So first I will go by the comment by comment. So first profession, which is the first profession I get. I worked in Google Workspace SME. Mm, and okay, let's see other thing. Application monitoring. So suppose you are in the application monitoring. Okay, so you have the application monitoring, app monitoring. Okay, so you must already have the knowledge of the life cycle. So you know life cycle of the software very well. It's a good skill. Now what should you do? You know about the logging and I think log checking and analytics part bit well, which is again a plus point. Log checking plus error checking. Okay, that's a plus point. So you already have that, isn't it? Now what you should do forward. So first you might create create instances, then add CloudWatch kind of logs or maybe whatever cloud provider you choose. Based on that service you'll see logging part. So let's say CloudWatch just for example. Okay, then understand if you make some request HTTP request like run an application and check, then see store the log in the CloudWatch. Okay, and then use the log insights. Okay, and then extract the valuable data, some analytics. Okay, so you have you have the opportunity to become a cloud analytics. So I don't know why to put it. So you have the easiest path to go for the cloud analytics. Okay, you can become a cloud analytics very easily. You have the already app monitoring part, right? So it was whose question again? Man, I got to vary it. So whoever asked it, if you have application monitoring part, you can become a cloud analytics very easily. It's a profession. It's a cloud specific profession. You still have to spin. I mean, as a cloud analyst, a cloud analytics person, you still have to spin instances. You still have to store the data. You have to make some checking. But since you have knowledge of the application monitoring, this is the best path you can go for. Okay, this is one. Now, what is the next? Let me see. Windows Server Admin. Now, it's again good part. It's what is the path? Oh man, every time I comment happening, I'm going very end of it. But okay, fine. Don't worry. Windows. So Windows Server Admin is Chetan saying Windows Server Admin. So Windows Server Admin. Okay. So you're a Windows Server Admin. So you know how to manage Windows. Okay. Do spin a Windows, okay, Windows instance in a cloud. Try to manage that. Okay, that's the first job you should do if you're not doing already. I think you may be already doing it. You already know it. I think you should go for the PowerShell. Okay, master the PowerShell. That will bring you the opportunities. And see, when you start working on this kind of cloud specific job, eventually you'll come to the Linux. Okay, eventually you'll come to the Linux. Then again, go for the Linux commands, learn, master it. Then the shell scripting. Okay, This is the path you should go for. So you first could learn about the cloud, spinning the instances, then the Linux command. Then you might be want to DevOps, so learn about like if there is application, learn about the CI/CD, learn about the like part of the CI/CD itself, source control, okay, like Git, or if you AWS, then code commit. Okay, all service providers have their own service names. I'm not going to go for that, but this is the flow. If you have a Windows service background, you have the best choice to become a DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer. Okay, see, you can become from DevOps to Windows Server admin to become DevOps engineer if you like master Windows, master Linux, shell scripting and all. Then the CI/CD, which is continuous like integration and deployment of applications. If you're admin, that means some application is running there, isn't it? And if you run to automate it and all, you are a good DevOps engineer already. So then the source control, then the maybe some kind of automation tools and all. So including all that, okay, you can become a DevOps engineer. It's the best path for you. Now again, next. So keep the comments coming, okay? Then I can make you the best suggestion possible. Chetan, okay, Aditya, Dowd, okay. So it's a mechanical engineer of 2021, currently working on TCS. I have fundamental knowledge of AWS. So you become so Rohit, which career you join, I don't know because from this message I cannot tell. If you're in the development, it's already good. You can either become DevOps engineer, cloud, or even better, if you're a programmer, you can become a cloud application programmer. You can go for that. It's Ashish or what? Let me see. Okay, okay. It's Ashish. I'm working with the AWS pre-sale with 3 year plus experience. I'm learning DevOps. So you are in the AWS pre-sales. Man, you are already in the good part. So you have already AWS knowledge. Okay, you already have it. So your plus point. This one is. Then learn about the CI/CD. Okay, if you don't know about CI/CD in with AWS, I already have one dedicated playlist or dedicated series on CI/CD with AWS. Must check my channel. It's Sandeep. Just search by Sandeep Das in YouTube. Okay, and you'll find it. Then go to playlist, and they will find the this CI/CD with AWS. It's a full 16, I think 16 videos. If you do it, I can guarantee you'll become master of DevOps over time, of course. So that you do it. Then learn about the sales scripting because you will need it to automate things. And of course, when talking about the sales scripting, you must have the Linux. So if you do all that, you can become DevOps engineer. Okay, you can become DevOps engineer. That's it. Now next, we have it here. First, I'm going through the comments. Then I will go. I will go through the question if I don't cover it. So if you are asking in question, you can ask it here because a lot of more message I can see in the this message section. So it's next. Who is next? Project management. Okay. Okay, project management. Just for example. So if you are doing project management, okay, project management is a common thing. That's why I picked this one. You first master any cloud, okay, AWS, maybe Azure, or maybe GCP. I will definitely suggest AWS, not just because of AWS Hero, but you get more opportunities there. So go for any cloud. Then what you should do, learn about the core services. Okay. Then you are project manager, so you know cost is important. Learn about the cost management. Okay. Then learn about the monitoring. which is kind of included in the core, but I'm just emphasizing it more. Monitoring services. Okay, learn these basic stuffs. Learn about the core services, cost management, monitoring. You can become cloud solution architect. Okay, do a certification. Do AWS. Just for example, AWS solution architect. Okay, associate. Start with that. My handwriting like a doctor. Okay, anyway. So go with the AWS solution architect, and that will help you to become the solution architect. Since you already have project management experience, it will definitely going to help you. I will be coming to the next session where we talk about how to maintain your same salary. So I'll be telling you your reference as well. So learn about any cloud, then core services, cost management, monitoring. Then go for any solution architect SO level certification. And if you are going for AWS, go for the solution architect. That's how you can become. So one of the most also important part is to understand how can you use multiple services together as a combination. So suppose AWS EC2 plus RDS complete application. Your application hosting the application in the EC2, and then you are using some RDS, say MySQL instance. I told you about MySQL, right? System database service with combination. You're hosting application. So this kind of stuff using multiple services combination how to use. So service. Okay, just a moment. Yeah, service combination. This is one of the important stuff. Okay, service combination. So learn that well, and you will become a cloud solution architect. Okay. Now who's next? Mm, I see a lot of messages, so I'll be coming. I'll be coming all. Okay, so no worries on that. Even if it's take me few more minutes or hour, I will be not a problem. I have meeting starting from 7:30, so we have time. And sorry, you're missing your session, but man, what I can do. I also have some time constraint and all. But yeah, I'll be covering whatever I can. Then we have here Oracle Fusion. So middleware. I will call it middleware. So I think you must have some system engineering knowledge. Okay, so that's a plus point. You have good thing there. Learn about the basic cloud basic. You see, if you understand the system well, you will understand the cloud basics also well. After that, go for any cloud leader, AWS, Azure, uh, GCP. Okay, go for any particular cloud. I would say AWS. Then again, for you also core services. Okay, then cost, then some CI/CD, then monitor. Okay, so the basic stuff. You don't have to understand CD setup. I have a lot of iOS application. Already have two iPhones. Okay, so you understand the core services, you understand the CI/CD and all that. You have the chance to become DevOps engineer. Okay, so this is your path from middleware. You have best chance in the DevOps architect. After you learn the core services, CI/CD, cost and monitor, you can become DevOps engineer. So next. I know I'm getting fast because there's a lot of people waiting for their answer, right? So please bear with me. So let's see what I've covered till now. So we have here working on storage and backup infrastructure. Okay, and you want to go for DevOps. So storage and backup. So it's kind of you are in the data position, not data, kind of system manager data combination. So you already know about the data, which is a plus point. Okay, then you have to learn about some existing cloud DB services. Okay, this is the first step you should. Since your backup is like your basis data, you must go for the cloud DB services. Okay, storage services. Okay, then go for the core services. Just remove it properly. Core services. Okay. Then monitoring, and then CI/CD. Again, CI/CD in my channel. I'm telling repeatedly, in my channel there is one dedicated session which is the quality I have made, and it's free for all. Go to my YouTube channel. There in the playlist. Look for the that DevOps with AWS, DevOps. Okay, with, if you are going for AWS, of course, otherwise not, with AWS. Okay, go for that. You can become DevOps engineer. Okay, I'm telling maybe simple, but it's not a simple journey. CI/CD, a lot of effort you have to push. Monitoring, a lot of effort to push. Core services like compute. Okay, now I don't think I explained the core service well. Compute, then the networking. This part you have to focus a lot. You already, the data part, you already know the data part, so you are good there. Okay, so good. Now only compute networking, but you have to focus. Now next part. Google excuse me. Okay, I am okay. Graduate done. I'm okay. Capacity management is up. Okay, capacity management reporting side of business working is okay. So it's kind of the actual, okay, you're struggling with the actual path to cloud. So you have SQL and report. So kind of SQL plus reporting. Okay, I'm taking that like kind of reporting. In average reporting, you are in the reporting who have some SQL skill. Okay, so you know SQL, so you must have the basic data level knowledge. So your part also similar like previous one, but I will suggest if you are not sure about the path, I will say go for the cloud solution, or maybe cloud data solution architect if you want to. There is option to master the data services particularly, and data and analytics. Okay, so you can become a like data, we call it data engineer and all, data scientist also, if you can, if you have a knack for the mathematics and all. Otherwise data analytic or the cloud solution, cloud data solution architect, you have a lot of options. See, the more profitability, I will say, you go for the solution architect path, it will be more profitable. But sometimes people look for specialization. If you go for the data analytics, there also you might make some money. It's good. Again, most important part, you have to understand the core services, mostly the compute part plus the networking part. Okay, networking, I'm using the VPC. There is a virtual private cloud, VPC plus the IP plus the networking full depth. Okay, you have to all that, do all that, then you can become cloud solution architect. So focus on the core services and data services. You already know data, already know something about data and SQL. It will be good for you. Okay, so cloud solution architect as a data part, or maybe the cloud data solution, cloud data analytics or cloud analytics part. Those are the two main options for you. Okay, I have here. Sandeep, feeling great. Okay. Sandeep, telecom engineer. It's a good path. Telecom engineer. I used to meet with a lot of people in Mumbai who were telecom engineer and become a cloud solution architect. And I learn a path from them. Okay. So you are a telecom engineer. Most cases it will be good, great if you might say at me that what kind of day-to-day job you do. But it's okay. So you have the basic system level knowledge. Okay, system knowledge, like normal computer instance and all, like normal computer knowledge you have, which is plus point. Now what you should learn, choose for any cloud, AWS, GCP, Azure, okay, whatever you want to go for. Learn about the core services, just like any other personal item, core services. Then must focus good part on the networking. Okay, then do we just know the overview of the data part? No overview of data. Okay, you don't need to become a data engineer, just know the data part. bit just overview knowledge. Then learn about the. I think I forgot to all the places I told you a lot of things, but security also fall under the core services. Okay, security. I think I missed this one. So security also you must do. Security fall under core service. So compute plus networking, okay, plus the data, just the overview plus the security also. Now security is like a basic. It's just like so natural to me. I forgot to mention because security. I am the index management. You must learn the security also, where you need to assign the access and the authorization part. Okay. Now that is done there. What we have here? Mainframe, which you already cover. The DevOps part, you will become get chance in the DevOps engineer. Now we have here. I am arranging the program. I have hands-on experience in AWS, but looking for upskill in DevOps. So if you already have AWS, okay, or Azure or GCP, and you want to go for the either DevOps, okay, or the say cloud, what you should do is master the in-demand in-demand service. Okay, that's the first step. You already have the basic master in-demand service or whichever is in trend. Okay, master that. Then you master the core services. You already know it, so nothing to tell. The just the specialization part, whatever is famous, focus on that. Then with the DevOps part, learn the CI/CD, Linux, like master the Linux, master it. Then learn the shell scripting. Okay, okay. If you go by that path, you can become either DevOps engineer, okay, or cloud solution architect. Okay, you can become like that, but you have to master. If you are going for the DevOps, master CI/CD, Linux, and scripting courses you already know. The CI/CD services. Suppose AWS, you already doing the AWS, right? So AWS. So then learn AWS. Learn about the code commit. Learn about the code build. Learn about the that code deploy, and most important all, uh, I don't know what happens. Orientation change. Anyway, let's clear it. So learn about the if it's in AWS DevOps, learn about the code commit, learn about the code build, code deploy, then code uh, pipeline. Okay, learn about this four service, and you will become great DevOps engineer in AWS. Okay, learn about that these things. Okay, name next. Let's see what is next. Hmm, let's see. QA. I think that's a good part. Okay, you have a QA. Okay, so QA, what they do is system testing. Okay, system testing or application testing or automation sometime also. If you are already doing any of things, especially the automation, you're already best point. If you do system or app testing, you have the knowledge of the application life cycle. Okay, which is a plus point. What I'm saying, if you know about the system testing and app testing, you have a application, some knowledge application, not the programmatic, but the life cycle part. Automation, you can like automation is the heart of the DevOps, isn't it? Then master any cloud, code services, cloud, whichever cloud you choose, code services, Okay, and then sales scripting. I will definitely say sales scripting. Okay, if it's already you know is good. Otherwise, sales scripting and Linux plus sales scripting. Okay, then CI/CD. In the previous I also told you what is CI/CD. The source part, the build part, that is making Docker build or application build. You already maybe heard about some things because you are a QA. You know about some of the CI/CD part. Maybe the which is the CI/CD is what source to build to deploy and pipeline it. That's the basic. Now, this is not everything about the CI/CD, but that's the basic flow of the CI/CD. So if you know the storage providers, the how to integrate the with the builds and how to deploy, you can become DevOps engineer. Okay, you have very good chances. Now let's see. Hmm, okay, let's see what we have here. Mainframe already covered. So Oracle integration, I think Oracle media also I covered, I guess. So if you have programming knowledge, okay. So if you have programming knowledge, you are in the bestest position you can imagine. You know about the application, okay. App development, you know about some programming language. You can use that for automation. And if you want to even become DevOps engineer, you can avoid self scripting because using programming you can automate. Okay, but if you still, self scripting is good for most of the cases. So I will definitely suggest the self scripting as an additional skill. It's optional but recommended. Okay, recommended. Also, programming you are good with automation since you already know programming. Do self scripting. Learn about the cloud services. Okay, most cases first learn about some cloud service like core services. Then you must learn about the containerization container like Docker. Kubernetes is too will be too much at overkill for you. But if you're a system engineer who are going for the DevOps, like very hard to do, so that will be recommended for them. So Kubernetes, okay. And once you do all that, then yeah, serverless. So you will mainly have two paths. Okay, since you're a programmer, you can become cloud with the cloud knowledge, cloud application programmer. Okay, cloud application programmer, or you can become DevOps engineer. Okay, you have these two options: either cloud application programmer or DevOps engineer. If you have the programming background, it's up to you. Most paying will be this. It pay best. Okay, and for that you need to learn additional. If you are focusing on the cloud application, learn about the serverless, because if you want to become a cloud application programmer, serverless is must. If you want to become a DevOps engineer, learn all that, it will be enough. Okay, that's for the programmers. You have any 1 year 2 year programming language. Okay, mm, SQL server I've already covered. MySQL, okay, that is response handling client server. Okay, it's IBM data provider in a cloud is a product to hand. Okay, Anurag saying, data power is a product to handle rest of the SOAP services, XML request response handling. Please ask me to move toward. So if you any say API management, I'm saying API management. Okay, So you know about the basic of the cloud, I think, because it's a request. You know about the request and response. Okay, so you have the basic cloud knowledge you already might have, and you have some API. At least you have the API knowledge. Okay, then learn the since you are going for the AWS. AWS is the goal here. Since AWS is the goal, learn about the core AWS services. Okay, then learn about the after like code services also include some kind of basic DB, but I'm saying compute like EC2 plus the ECS plus the serverless. Okay, then learn about some DB, so that RDS and that you have like in RDS itself there is Aurora DB. Okay, learn about that also. Then learn about the Dynamo DB. Okay, so these are the things we must learn. Of course, learn about. I mean, I'm not telling it, but learn about S3 is most important, I guess. Okay, so and you become the AWS solution architect. Of course, do a basic solution architect as a associate. Okay, certify. Do that, and then you will become AWS solution architect. I think I covered most of the cases. Yeah, most of the cases I know there is a question answer section, monitoring well, tech support, freshers career path. Sir, like to clear solution architect exam. So which job of AWS? So which job we can apply for? What option we have for us? So if you go for the solution architect, uh, you have the cloud solution architect to manage the cloud cost of the cloud, then and there will be some cloud infra management like and maybe you can go for the Terraform. Yeah, so all the skill like cloud, okay, DevOps, I talked about, right? You can automate everything in the cloud and automate the infra using cloud, using tools like suppose AWS cloud formation. Learn these things, okay? I'm telling you, but learn this thing whenever you get chance, I'm telling you. But don't forget this one. Cloud formation is very hard to learn, to be honest. It took me already, I think it's almost 3 or 4 months it took to me understand properly. You have Terraform, okay, one of the most kind of most valuable and in demand DevOps tool, okay, because it's you can like you can provision all the infra and destroy in a like second or like Thanos chutki, one chutki you can delete all the resource. Wow, I'm just kidding. You can run a command and you can delete all that. So that you can do by the Terraform, okay. And I suggest at least learn the Terraform. There is other tools like Chef, Puppet, Ansible, okay. You can learn the Ansible, but I will definitely suggest the Terraform. I'm telling you, it is one of the life-changing skill if you have. But Terraform skill itself is not enough. You have to also know because Terraform or any this automations and all, you have to do on some cloud. So again, falling to AWS, Azure, GCP. Okay, so you learn any of them. Okay, any of them. I will suggest the AWS. Then work with Terraform. That is one of the most seeking demanding skill. Will can change your life. Okay. Okay, I think I have covered most of the questions. If let me just once last time verify that if there is any important topic. Okay, one thing is in finance. I forget. Finance is also important. Like if you're a finance person want to move to cloud, then what? Like you are doing BCom or any like finance background, which is rare. They come to IT, but since you are coming, since if you are in that phase, oh, it's good too. So in finance, then first learn about the first you have to choose which cloud to go. But if you are not any sure, go with for AWS. It's kind of, if you don't know which cloud to choose, go for AWS. That are my final words. Okay. Then learn the core services. But since you have a finance viewpoint, first learn about the cost explorer. Okay. Since you are finance background, that's I'm telling you. Cost explorer. Then like classify or list types of instances. Also cost explorer. I'm just want to talk about the cost explorer. Learn about budgeting. Okay. Budgeting, setting alerts. Okay, setting alerts and all. So yeah, type of the instances, or like type of EC2 instances, more to be honest. Then like what is M, what is T, what is I, what is all other instance type, what are the use cases. Okay, use cases. Then launch instances, and then remove the instance. Okay, this kind of practice if you do, and then of course you have to learn about the, like I told you, right, core services. This can help you to become one of the cloud uh, solution architect. Because remember I told you, one of the most important skill to have this cost management part. If you master it, now if you master the cost part, and if you go to interview, say I know in depth about the cost management in the AWS along with the resource creation and destroy and managing the infra, you will have a salary level that a normal developer can't, a normal cloud developer can't, because you have a finance background, some IT certification, plus the this kind of skill set, meaning the finance, budgeting, cost estimation, and maybe additional some software, that will make you one of the good candidate for the solution architect. Again, for all this kind of role, if you're for a solution architect, I highly suggest the certification. Okay. Otherwise, getting job will be a bit difficult. It's not impossible, but difficult. Okay, that's why it's very important. Let's see any other questions. Okay, not much questions. I think I have covered most of the questions. There is actually a lot of similar kind of questions. Okay, there is one thing, development ETL. So ETL. Okay, so it's more of the data processing. Okay, ETL, what they do is the data processing. Data actually import, kind of filter, process, like ETL. Okay, ETL job. So more of, you work with the data part. So first, like just like the data engineer part, focus on the data, cloud. Okay, cloud data part. Focus on that. Learn. Of course, I tell everyone about the core services. So for you also, core services is the must do. Any position you want to go for, core services, compute. Again, I'm just repeating myself. Compute. Then the DM, that is a storage and networking. Okay, then the security basics, that is the basic knowledge of all that. Okay, if you do that, you can become either cloud solution architect or cloud data analytics positions. Okay, because you are loading data, you are refining the data, you are extracting the data, you are transforming the data, so you become a data position. Okay, these are the things you can do. Oh, I think I've covered a lot. It's already 7 8 5 to 7, 2 hour session already. Okay. So guys, I think I have covered a lot of the parts and all. I think we are missing one particular things, that how to utilize your existing skill set to get better opportunity. So think about the part where I've shown you what skills you have and which data path to choose. If you go for a matching skill like data ETL or data position, and you're going for the data analytics part, in the cloud data analytics part, where still you have to use the cloud services, plus mostly you're specializing on the data part. In that case, you can use your existing experience as intact, and then you are moving to cloud. That way you can, whatever salary you have, you can at least add 20, 30, or maybe double of that if you are that talented. So that's a good thing. Similarly, for the system engineer or test engineer or QA, you already know the life cycle. So QA, I will say, you will see there are cloud native application, many startup doing cloud native application development or cloud application development or AWS specific or AWS partner firms. If you move to as a QA of that firms, okay, you will see a lot of this kind of application coming for testing and all. You go there and learn, okay, you learn that, and then on the intra team you ask for them. I have, like, must do some certification, AWS or Azure, whatever you think is best for you. You can do the certification. You do the certification, and then what you should do is apply for either in the same company. Say, I have QA knowledge, I have kind of cloud, that in-depth cloud knowledge, I have certification. Move me to the cloud team or cloud development team or solution architect team, okay, or DevOps team, whatever your target is. You can ask, and you have your salary intact, maybe increasing a lot because you're switching to even better role. That's how you can keep the same. Because you see, if you are in this separate kind of career path and moving to like very separate one at one jump, the salary will not be that data. They will ask for, very lower salary, and I don't really like that, and I don't you to like that as well. So make a in between transmission, like transformation. First, move to the company as a QA. If it's focus that it's a cloud or DevOps, they're following very good, very highly uh, kind of. They are very good company, and they're renowned for their cloud and DevOps. You can ask the engineer, did they use it? The engineer just talk with them, and they will tell you. Okay, that's the way. If you join there, you have the option to join as a cloud DevOps engineer, whatever your goal is, and you can have your same salary, current salary intact or better. Suppose you are a data analytics, okay? If you go for the data analytics kind of a position, just as I told, right? Suppose you're a programmer, you have the bestest option. If you go to the cloud application development, again you are utilizing the cloud services, plus you're programming for cloud application like serverless, like cloud native applications, uh, like cloud SDK. So with AWS, maybe S3 you are uploading, downloading, maybe with some database services like IDS and all, you are programming application. So this kind of knowledge give you, like, if you from the normal programmer to become a cloud application programmer, I can tell you that from 50 to 100% salary you can demand more if you're moving to the another company. You can do that, okay? Suppose you are a kind of system engineer. Now you are the best position because you already have system knowledge. You already have, most probably have the cell scripting or maybe Linux knowledge. Use that knowledge to make a jump in the DevOps, because for the system engineer you have most better position in the DevOps. If you don't think you don't want to go for DevOps, you can either go for cloud also. There also you have Linux system, you have all the services. They need the people to manage as a cloud architect, so you can go for that also. That way, if you move this way, then your salary will be intact. Again, same strategy. Join to a company which have this kind of team, which are doing work on it. Suppose AWS, you want to move for AWS system engineer, DevOps or cloud architect. So move to a company that are working exclusively on AWS or maybe Azure. Suppose Azure company. There are a lot of companies. If you go to their site or maybe some engineer, so go to a company in LinkedIn and anywhere. There's a filter. Search the keyword with AWS for the particular company and see the engineers getting listed. See what skills they have, and you can see that your skill level can fit on that, and what skill you need to learn. That's how think strategically. The more strategically you think, the more you use your brain, you will see that there are a lot of back doors. How can you join the company, keeping the salary intact or maybe higher, and then move to the other team, because they are already cloud engineer, they are already working so hard on that. You also learn from them, you improve yourself, get certified, improve your knowledge, and then join a get a company with the targeted position you want. That's how we do it. Okay. I think I talked a lot. So that's it, guys. I hope you like the session. I know it's a 2 hour session. It's supposed to be 1 hour, but I got carried away. I think you guys also enjoyed the session. So yeah, so that's what I need to tell you. This session will have a recorded version. Maybe it takes some processing time. Either by tonight or tomorrow, I will send you the list of the I mean the this recorded session as well as the document that I'm showing you. Two things. Also link to my DevOps tutorials like DevOps with AWS, and I think you already might have got already one mail from me regarding the Terraform. If your target is for the cloud or the DevOps, you must learn the Terraform. I'm telling you, learn the Terraform course. You'll be in best position than the rest. Okay, do that. Okay, I hope you guys like the session. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn. I think you see me already. I talk a lot about cloud and programming and DevOps. So you can reach out to me there, or you already have my email address. This is how we communicate. So you can simply reply to me, or you can send message to me. I'll try to reply as soon as possible. Okay. Okay, guys, have a nice day ahead and thank you for staying this long. I hope you learned something from the session which will be beneficial for you. And I will try to keep the next session on Saturday, on Sunday only. Again, sorry guys for this. I don't had any opening last week. Saturday, Sunday was like all booked. My health also was not that great anyway. So thank you guys. Soon see you. I mean, hope you see soon in next session. Okay. Thank you very much. And again, if you didn't subscribe to my channel, do subscribe my channel. There I post a lot of free content. Like I work uh, a lot of hard work. Like the Terraform course, I work for 2 months. Some night also I work for 3 a.m., 4 a.m. But I make that course possible, and this available to you guys. So watch it. Okay. Okay, man. Thank you. Bye and have a nice day. Bye.